First of all, can I thank Alessandro for inviting me to speak today. Before I start with my presentation, I'd like to respond to the fantastic comments and sessions we've just heard. In the United Kingdom, since 2000, there's been a very strong emphasis on school leadership. I couldn't do what I'm doing in this school without the support and structure and recognition that middle school leaders, those who organise departments, the emphasis is placed on them. I've spent in my own career as a teacher, I started teaching in 1977. I had a period of time from 2007 where I moved into higher education. I was responsible for a school of education. And picking up the comments in the session beforehand, U theory, it was that period of time coming out of school as a leader, out of a school setting, a 5-year period where I could reflect on what was important in schools and what was important in the classrooms and structures, and it enabled me to think in a different paradigm. You've heard a little bit about UCL. It's one of the best universities in the world. In its last research exercise in the UK, it split Oxford and Cambridge. They were concerned with two things. Firstly, that students from state schools, and particularly students from disadvantaged areas, were not getting sufficiently good grades to access their courses. They were concerned with that in a social justice and equity perspective. They were also concerned that students were arriving at university with a good subject knowledge, but without the confidence or the curiosity or the ability to interrogate questions, because the experience they had had at school had been really, we would say, spoon-fed. Children given lots of opportunities, lots of things to do right. They were very compliant and not adventurous in their learning. So they took a very brave decision. They were going to start a school. They were going to start a school which would be a comprehensive school in an inner London area, in the same borough of Camden. I was recruited in 2011 and had a year to get the school started. And I'd like to show you the product of those 4 years.
Buongiorno, io mi chiamo Federico.
E io mi chiamo James.
E noi siamo in questa scuola da ormai 4 anni.
E siamo i primi studenti.
Una roba che mi piace molto di questa scuola è che è molto diversa. Io ho amici che vanno a altre scuole e mi dicono come è diverso imparare nelle loro scuole. Per esempio, abbiamo i forums places. Un posto in mezzo e 2 classi dalle parti. Si inizia in mezzo e si impara le robe più basic. Dopo si va a una classe e si inizia a imparare le robe più importanti, quelle che servono. Quando è finito lì, vai nell'altra classe. Quando è finita la seconda classe sei quasi un esperto, hai fatto research, ti danno le lecture, hai guardato video e alla fine hai finito una classe che sai tutto.
Al momento sto studiando le scienze, ingegneria, matematica, inglese, geografia, spagnolo e anche astronomia. Però i soggetti che mi piacciono di più sono i STEM subjects. I motivi per cui mi piacciono questi soggetti sono perché abbiamo i professori che vengono dall'università che sono molto specializzati in loro come soggetto, e anche abbiamo le facilità specializzate che possiamo usare tutti i giorni.
Una cosa che mi piace molto è che i lectures che ci danno non sono brevi, sono da persone che hanno fatto anni di ricerca, che sono anche andati a trovare i posti. È molto bello vedere tipo un primary source e un secondary source, che vuol dire qualcuno che è stato lì, sa molto di più di fare research. Allora, quando fa un mix di tutti e due, ti viene una una knowledge, cioè quasi incredibile. Io in questa scuola qui sto imparando tantissimo e io la recommend a qualsiasi persona che vorrebbe andare. Adesso ti parlerà Miss Davis.
The best way to find out how good a school is to ask the students. I hope you don't mind me videoing your reaction to them. And next week, when I go back into school, I'll show that to the class, to the whole school. Let them see. But to get back to the presentation, UCL Academy. They gave me the most fantastic educational vision. And again, picking up the points that were raised earlier, John Cotter, an American, very famous American writer on change, has an equation. And the equation is, to have success in any change, there must be three components. The first is a dissatisfaction with the status quo. So I think we can all agree there is a dissatisfaction with the status quo. Yep. And the second is there must be a picture painted of a preferred future. The third thing is first steps. What do we have to do now? If any one of those is zero, change will not be successful. So going back to the previous speakers, that's my point, I think. Here, there was a dissatisfaction with the status quo. There was a picture, a painted picture of a preferred future, and I had to then come up with first steps. So what makes a school innovative? It's you keep the best of the past. You keep the things that work, the things you don't want to lose, and then you change the things that you think are wrong. So our school is very clearly identified with a vision. It's a comprehensive school. It was the first university to sponsor a school. We've got students from 11 up to 19. We have one more year to go to reach full capacity. It's a mixed, comprehensive school, so all abilities of students, from special needs to the very gifted and talented. Next year we'll have 1,000 students, 1,100 students. 60% of our students come from disadvantaged backgrounds. 75% of our students speak another language at home. And we have a very diverse ethnic mix. Bangladeshi students, Somali students, and Kosovan Albanian are the three biggest groups. But as you can see, we've also have a few Italians. What makes us different? An Indian poet, Tagore, who went to UCL as a student, when he went back to India, created a school, and he used this quote, or I quote him. He said, in creating a school, he had written a poem in a medium other than words. So for creating a school from scratch, a blank piece of paper to you all, what school would you create? A poem and an engineered solution. Both elements are absolutely crucial. So, teaching and learning is different. Our curriculum is different. Our pastoral care, how we support our students, how we organize the school and the students. We use learning sets. I'll talk about that later. We have the university as our sponsor, and we have a fabulous building design.